SJB?
Nigga, is you deaf? It's a pod named Kickback. A pod named Kickback. It's like a Tribe Called Quest. You say the whole thing.
Welcome to a pod named Kickback, also known as the Black CNN, and the revolution will be televised. I'm No Break Snoo, the righteous ratchet. If you throw it, I'll catch it. If you got it, I'll match it. Every smudge day. We right back at it. I am the Black Savage.
What's up, y'all? It's JB Frank. I'm that gangster geek representing NWA. Nerds with Attitude. Happy Schmatter Day again.
Schmatter Day. So we coming to y'all on Saturday because we couldn't wait. There was a lot going on and we had to address it now. The episode will be out on Patreon tonight, tomorrow. It'll be up everywhere else on Monday, of course.
Right.
This episode is called Trigger Warning because we want to get into some topics that I know we all are going to be triggered by. We're leading with love. This is not an argue session. This is a solution-based session. We have some things we need to discuss, and we know that everybody's going to, have an opinion, a strong opinion, an emotional opinion, and we're going to do our best to take as much emotion out of it as we can to have this intellectual conversation because it's very much so needed. And I want to start with what's going on with Gayle King, her interview with Lisa Leslie about Kobe Bryant, the backlash from that, and the support from that. And the backlash for anyone who's come against Kobe after his untimely demise, and the support that's come from them.
Right.
So I started this way. If you've been living under a rock and haven't been on my Facebook page, because I've been debating, arguing, and discussing this all week, Gayle King did an interview with Lisa Leslie. A 1 minute clip of that interview was released. In that 1 minute clip, it showed her asking questions about Kobe Bryant's rape case. And when Lisa Leslie tried to move on past it, saying she didn't see Kobe as that type, Gayle actually went on to say, well, you wouldn't see him as that type because he's your friend. Lisa Leslie went on to make different points about why she didn't see Kobe in that light. Gayle went on to speak about why she should see him in that light. Lisa Leslie ultimately asked her to drop it. Journalists need to leave it alone. Gayle said, well, yeah, is it even anything we need to even be bringing up at this point? And Lisa Leslie, countered with, this was 17 years ago.
Right.
You had 17 years.
Right.
You're making a big deal now that he's dead when you could have talked to him when he was alive. I'm saying that to say, and I want to paint one more picture. Gayle King's co-host, former co-host Charlie Rose, was accused of sexual abuse, sexual assault, rape. And she went on to say she doesn't see him that way, and there's two sides to every story. And that's how she views it. She didn't have that same compassion for Kobe. She didn't have that same compassion for Vanessa and the girls and the rest of the Kobe Bryant family that's still alive. She did not have that same compassion for his friends and supporters and fans. And we were pissed about that. And a lot of people spoke out. Bill Bellamy spoke out. Lil Boosie spoke out. Snoop Dogg spoke out. It was the most controversial. He called her a doghead bitch. He threatened to have somebody come get her if she didn't stop disrespecting Kobe and his family. And that's ultimately where we are. People that were, angry at Snoop for his response to what she did. People that were angry at Gayle for her response to what she did. People who were not angry with Gayle for her questioning. People who were not angry with Snoop for his response. And we wound up here. I'm giving you the overview. We're going to go and dissect every piece of this. Matter of fact, before I go any further, let's start with the interview with Lisa Leslie, JB. Let's start just with your thoughts on that one interview. We're going deep. This is a deep dive. So sit down, get comfortable, get your popcorn. We're going to have a real conversation, y'all. This isn't a 1 minute topic. We're going to talk.
Yeah, in terms of the interview, I felt like this is one of those situations where Gayle should have been. I'm just put it point blank. She should have been more racially loyal. Because Kobe Bryant is a legend. Kobe Bryant is a world icon. And I'm using the word is because even though he's gone, that impact has not faded, with his passing. You know what I'm saying? So, him being one of the most famous individuals ever to walk the earth means that there are going to be plenty of white journalists around who are going to talk about what happened in his past and going to dissect his life, right? Why does Gayle King need to do that? And why does she need to do it in the way that she did? It didn't inflame me, it didn't enrage me, but I just felt like really, you didn't need to do that. You really didn't need to do that at all. There are going to be plenty of people for us to be annoyed with who are going to bring up these negative aspects of Kobe's legacy, if you will, if you even want to call it that. There are plenty of people who are going to do that. Why, Gayle, do you need to do that? It feels a little more personal because it hits home more new. This is a black woman doing this, you know what I'm saying? So that makes it a little more painful for us. And I can understand that, and I can understand that frustration. And again, I think it was just in bad taste, and it's one of those things that she'll probably regret. It'll be one of those moments in her career where she's like, probably shouldn't have done that.
What do you think about her apology?
Well,
I don't know if we call it an apology, but her explanation.
Yeah, I mean, the explanation to me is bullshit because to me it's just something that shouldn't have been done to begin with. So there isn't really any justifying. You can't really justify something you do in bad taste. unless you just say, oh, well, I was being an asshole. And it's like, okay, well, you were being an asshole. That's the only real way to explain that because that's what it was.
Yeah, I didn't like what she did. I didn't like what she said. I didn't like the line of questioning. I didn't like the follow-up. When they released what we think is the full video is about 5-6 minutes. I counted 1:45 seconds and that was about Kobe's rape case.
Yeah.
If you're doing a piece on the tribute to Kobe or a piece on the life of Kobe Bryant, 1/4 of that, should not be solely based on his rape case. He did so many other things in his career, growing up in Italy, being fluent in 3-4 languages, coming back to the United States, growing up the son of a basketball player, coming back here, graduating, from high school, going straight to the league, winning championships with the Lakers with and without Shaq, supporting WNBA, winning Olympic gold medals, winning an Oscar. There is so much to talk about that if you're doing a 5-minute interview, 2/5 of that, should not be based on his alleged rape case.
Yeah, I mean, and it was only 5 minutes. So why are any parts of that related? I mean, you're talking about a man who had an illustrious career. You could do an hour interview just talking about his basketball career alone. You got 5 minutes. Why are you going to spend damn near 2? Right, you're right. You're absolutely right. Why? Like, what is the goal of that? What is the purpose of that? It's certainly not to venerate Kobe. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, JB. I didn't like it. I didn't appreciate it. But it didn't make me hate her. It didn't make me want to kill her.
Exactly.
I think she caught a lot of extra flack because of what Oprah's done with the Russell Simmons doc.
Yes.
And what Oprah did with the Michael Jackson doc.
Yes.
And people are lumping Oprah and Gayle together.
Yeah.
And just, it's like a venom going to get Oprah and Gayle as one human. Mm-hmm. Damn near. Oprah was on TV saying, she did the crocodile tears. Gayle is going through so much. She's been threatened and all this shit. And I'm like, I saw the threat, so I can't deny it. And I don't approve of what Snoop said. I didn't like what Snoop said. I felt him. And it's not like I'm going to be holier than thou. Like, I never cuss a motherfucker out or threaten a motherfucker or put my hands on a motherfucker. But I didn't know if it warranted that.
Right.
And I didn't like that because she is an old woman. You can say let old ideas die by old people. We'll let Gayle go on, and when she goes on, and we're not going to worry about her opinion. Fuck her opinion. But calling her a bunch of bitches and insinuating that something can happen to her, I didn't really like that. I don't like for in the public light for black men to call black women names, older black women especially.
Yeah.
And it just doesn't look good. It didn't feel good.
Nope.
It shocked me. Like, I laughed when I first saw it. I was like, oh shit! Like, damn! Like, Snoop went. Like, God! Like, oh shit! And when I thought about it, I was like, I mean, it was shocking, but it wasn't good shocking. You know what I mean?
No.
It was just kind of like, Snoop.
That's exactly how I felt when I saw his comments, when I saw the little video he put out. And it was just like, oh, two wrongs don't make a right, my G. You know, like, that's literally what I felt like. Two wrongs don't make a right. She was disrespectful in her interview, turning around and disrespecting her in such a vehement and loud and kind of outlandish way. It just inflames this whole situation even more. I can understand his outrage and why he would feel that way, but they're just, again, you know, cooler heads need to prevail.
Yeah, even Berger said, yeah, he was out of line, but he was very close to Kobe, but it still was definitely not cool. And I look at a lot of times, it's a mourning process. And people that are mourning don't always have the most rational responses. We lost H, rest in peace, big homie, a few months ago. If someone would have brought up something in his past, you know, a week after he died, I'd have been like, fuck you, bitch, and I would have went off.
Yeah.
Like don't talk about my folks.
Right.
Like, fuck you.
Right.
And that's how I granted Snoop, I guess, asylum. I'm not condoning it.
Right.
I do think it was wrong. But I can understand having a visceral response to someone speaking ill of a loved one that passed away recently.
Yeah.
I can understand you just kind of getting beside yourself, and, you know, I understand it. I'm pretty sure I've done it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, and let's not forget how close to this tragedy we are, folks. This is still 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, something like that. It's
Kobe isn't in the ground. He hasn't been buried.
Yeah, like this is still hitting home for people who were really, really close to him. This is still
It's hitting home for fans that never met him.
Well, yeah.
It's still hitting home for everybody.
Yeah. So those types of visceral emotional reactions we should expect, but we should also expect a little more decorum and respect out of especially our journalists. You know what I'm saying? You know, the racial line exists and it's real, right? So to have a black woman step up and do this about Kobe, again, makes it even more sort of...
it stings a little more.
It stings a lot more. You know, and again, the comments didn't anger me to the point where I wanted to call her outside her name and this, that, and the third, but cooler heads needed to prevail on her part too. Like, she could have just went another way with those 5 minutes. And she really could have, and it could have been more impactful and a much more powerful interview.
Yeah, she didn't have to get personal with it, you know, questioning Lisa Leslie. I'm sure Lisa Leslie was like, I'm just here to talk about my friend and honor him, and now you don't see it because you're his friend, and now she got to defend herself. You know, and I think about Vanessa Bryant, the real victim in all of this, you know, and those little girls, his daughters, 17, 3, and 1, that are going to have to hear this and see this. And it doesn't mean that she could not ask him any question. I mean, ask Leslie. She could have asked Lisa Leslie that question and stopped there. When Lisa Leslie gave an answer, she pushed and probed, trying to almost get Lisa Leslie to change her answer. And it's documented that she didn't do that with Charlie Rose. She said that there are two sides to every story in the Charlie Rose rape case, her friend, and she's going to wait and see and all this other bullshit. But she didn't do that with Kobe. There wasn't two sides to every story with Kobe. There was one side, and it was the side of the alleged victim.
Yeah, I mean, she just kept going in on the case and kept dipping in the details and all of the, oh, well, you know, so-and-so.
Technically, and this and that.
Technically, the case was raw because the witness wouldn't come forward and blah, and blah. And I'm like, why are y'all talking about this right now?
And I don't want to do more victim blaming, but there's a reason that the woman dropped the case. I mean, when you find that there are 4, 5, 6 different traces of semen from different men on her, in a 24-hour period, you start to wonder, like, well, shit, you were raped and then you fucked 6 other people? Wait a minute. That sounds like you had something going on in that hotel.
Right.
There was, you know,
Right.
there was a job.
Yeah, I mean,
you had 2 jobs there.
Yeah, and
that can't be lost. If we're going to hold Kobe to this standard, we got to hold the accuser to that same standard.
Yeah.
And I also want to go into something where Kobe basically said, this is something I learned with the Me Too movement. Shout out to the women in my life who taught me this. I do understand that there's a situation where a man and a woman could be dating, and a woman could not want to have sex, but don't want to make him mad, don't want to ruin the night, don't want to mess up next week's vacation, so they have sex with the man. He doesn't know there's a problem. He doesn't know she doesn't want to do it. He's just like, I want to have sex, and she's like, okay, cool. And she wakes up the next day kind of like, I didn't want to do that, but I didn't want to have no drama, and I have an attitude, now I feel away. And that is what they call now sexual coercion or whatever the fuck, which I don't necessarily buy into. But I do buy into this concept that I can acknowledge that, oh shit, I guess if she said she didn't want to do it, we still did it. But maybe I pressured her a little bit. Maybe I sucked my teeth when she said she wasn't in the mood. And maybe that made her get in the mood. And I got to take responsibility for that. And I'll apologize for that. But that doesn't mean I'm apologizing for raping somebody.
Yeah.
So when Kobe said she saw it differently, I didn't do anything. I didn't see it that way. But obviously, she did. So I apologize for her discomfort and her confusion in the situation and me not being hip enough to see all the signs. That doesn't mean he admitted he did it. I don't want y'all niggas to stop saying that dumb shit. He did not admit to raping that girl. He admitted to not reading all the signs properly because obviously she feels a way. So obviously he missed the big sign. And women have told me straight up, a lot of times we don't even tell you. It ain't worth the hassle. And I sat down with several women that had this discussion. I've said to them, well, we've done it together. And I've said to them, like, if you don't tell us, how will we know? So the whole notion that because he apologized for how she interpreted their experience isn't an admission of guilt.
It's certainly not an admission of sexual abuse of any kind. Number one, number two, and more importantly, Lou, I think that in talking about Kobe Bryant and talking about Kobe Bryant's legacy right now, like, to be real with you, like, this line of discussion is, in my opinion, the last thing that people should be talking about at all as it relates to Kobe Bryant at this point. And that's the part that's more frustrating to me than anything else. Like, we are deliberating facts over something that happened
17 years ago,
when his wife was pregnant with their first child or something like that, according to my math. So we are airing all of this bullshit, all of this dirty laundry that his children might be blessed to not even really fully be aware of in any way, shape, or form. That's what makes this bad, people. And that's why, like, we really need to move on from this line of discussion as it relates to Kobe Bryant. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, especially if we're not doing this across the board, because we can dig into Gail's past, we can dig into Oprah's past, we can dig into my past, we can dig into JB's past. And the time when someone dies isn't the exact time to do that.
Exactly.
I can promise you on the day that Oprah Winfrey dies, I'm not going to mention how she smoked crack and was a prostitute. That's not going to come up that day, or that week, or the following 2-3 weeks. That's not going to come up. I have more class and decorum than that. And I hate to use Oprah as my example, but she's close to Gail, and I think it would drive the point home.
Right.
At least I hope it would.
Right.
So we figured out a couple things here, family. One, Gail was wrong for her line of questioning. We don't know why she did it, chasing stats, chasing numbers, or just being a bitch. We don't know why. Snoop was wrong in his response. You don't have to attack women that way,
Yes.
especially elderly black women. Even if they sellouts, you don't have to do that in front of the world. That's not the best example. We also know that Kobe has a what would be perceived to be a complicated history because of things that people won't let go. Now I know that I was accused of just an accusation, never went to anything beyond that. But a woman accused me of the term was rape, but we never had sex, and I didn't do anything but kiss her, and it was laughable, and nobody took it seriously, and it was done. If you bring that shit up on the day I die, after everything that I've done in my life, you bring up this dumb bitch's little weird claim that didn't go anywhere because her friends and her family laughed her out. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? If you bring that up, well, technically it happened, then I'm gonna be like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, really?
Yeah, what are we talking about right now? And why are we talking about, like, what?
Right. Not a conviction, not an admission of guilt, just some shit. I can say right now, yeah, I heard Gail is fucking Oprah. You gonna bring that up on the day she died? We've all heard that rumor. It ain't true. It ain't substantiated. Well, it could be true, but it's not substantiated.
Yeah,
you don't have any proof. You're gonna bring that up on the day she died? It's just ridiculous. And moving on from that point, I started to see JB online where people were saying that when one of those dumbass articles comes out, black men are the white people of our race. This was said that black men were not angry with Gail because she attacked Kobe. We really just hate black women, and that was just an opportunity for us to go at black women. First of all, fuck that article, and fuck anybody dumb enough to believe that. And I can't say it in a nicer way. I'll be Snoop right now. Fuck you for being that stupid to think that. Gail, Snoop fussing at Gail and Gail being, adversarial to Kobe Bryant's memory does not mean I hate black women.
Right.
Me feeling a way about that does not mean I hate black women. That is a straw man argument. You can't tie them together.
No. I mean, honestly, you can't even really tie the invective at Gail to hatred of Gail. I mean, you can only tie it to hatred for her commentary. Like, when did we drop into this parallel universe where if I address a grievance about somebody's wrongdoing, then all of a sudden I hate all people of that group or that gender or that mix or whatever. And, number one, I don't hate Gail. Number two, I definitely don't hate women. And number three, I'm just mad at Gail. Like I can't be mad at her for what she said. All of a sudden,
no, you can't, JB, because that means you hate all black women.
All of a sudden, I hate all black women, including the ones that I've dated, married, had children with, supported.
Been raised by.
Yeah, like supported.
Brother too.
It's just a ridiculous kind of comment, and I grow sick of hearing those types of generalized comments because people don't realize how harmful and how inflammatory they are. I don't know what the advantage is in making that kind of statement. I don't know how that benefits. Like where are we going?
It helps to demonize black men. Because I saw a sister, and I hope she's watching. She made a post saying nobody was threatened except the Gail, the black one. Black men only threatened Gail, and no other white reporter was threatened, and that's fucked up, and it shows that black men hate black women. And so I did a simple Google search. I'll tell you what it was. I said, journalists threatened after Kobe. Those are the only words I used, JB. Journalists threatened after Kobe. I typed that into Google, and I came up with 4 other white journalists who've been receiving death threats after bringing up Kobe's rape case. So her post was a total lie. It was total ignorance. She just said it because she felt it. She had nothing to back it up with. And I screenshotted it and put it on her post. Now, here are 4 white people who have been threatened behind this. What made you think it was only black men threatening this one black woman?
Yeah, you got to be careful making those kind of declarative statements to back up your argument, especially if you haven't done the work and the research to at least look up a smattering of facts. I mean, those types of generalized situations and statements are what get us in trouble, because not only are you saying that kind of shit out loud, like you actually sort of kind of believe it, which is even worse, because that means that you're one of us, you're one of our black women walking around thinking that half of your people hate you. Like, what the fuck are we talking about right now? Like, that's why this is so counterproductive, and that's why this doesn't make any sense. Like, ladies, my beautiful queens, think about what you're saying when you say that. You are literally saying out loud that half of your people hate you. Like, I mean, is that something that you really believe? I find it hard to believe that, they actually believe that. These women who were raised by fathers, protected by uncles, counseled by brothers, believe that black men hate black women,
And I do know, ladies, because I've talked to you in detail via Facebook, via phone, everything. I know that there are a lot of dumb niggas out there, and there are a lot of low brow niggas that's just on some bullshit.
Yeah.
And they are as bad as you say they are.
Absolutely.
I believe you.
Absolutely.
I believe you. I believe you. It's just not all of us. And if you don't believe that, great for you. I'm telling you the posts I've seen that are saying it's all of us. I'm speaking about that. That's what's problematic. If you say it's a ton of black men that did this, that, I would have an issue with that, but I'd be like, okay. If you say, there are quite a few that think this and that, I probably believe you a little more. If you say, I know a handful, I totally buy in. But when you say it's all, I can't buy into that, sis. And I won't. Because that's just you demonizing us. You're saying that we hate black women, and that's why we're mad at Gail. When in reality, you're demonizing us with no proof that we hate black women because you hate us. I say that again. You think we're the white men of our race, right? You know how I feel about white men? That's what you're saying. That's what that says to us. You're saying we are the oppressors of our race. Ask me how I feel about our oppressors. How could I not think you hate us? And then you take us being angry at Gail and make that an indictment that we hate all women. Why would you come to such a sweeping generalization?
Yeah.
Because you hate us. And I had did a post, and I was talking to people on Facebook, and I made a post saying, how the hell did Snoop calling Gail the B word mean all black men hate black women? And a woman came on post and said, so you excuse Snoop for threatening her? What?
Nah.
I said, how does Snoop calling her out of her name equate to all black men hating black women? So you excuse Snoop then?
No, I do not. No, not at
No,
all.
you have no idea how I feel about what Snoop did.
Right.
We have no clue. I
You didn't ask that question.
My question was, how did what he said
Right.
mean that all of us hate all of you? And she's like, well, you should answer my question first before you ask me a question. And I said, literally, I don't like what Snoop said. I understand it. I understand the pain. I understand the hurt. But him calling an elderly black woman a bunch of bitches and all that shit and alluding to threats, because he didn't threaten her, I don't want to go that far. Alluding to threats was uncomfortable, and it was it was emotional, and it was too much, and it shouldn't have happened. Then she goes, oh. And I'm like, but why did you think that I was there? Why did I have to explain where I was in order to ask a question? And I'm like, because you hate black men. You think we're the devil. You have demonized us. You have called us the white men of our race, and we all know what white men have done.
Yeah, and just to add to what News is saying, kickbackers, the reason why it inflames these types of emotions in men when you say those types of things is because we have been dealing with two sides of a lot of the same oppression, the same struggle. We've been facing a lot of very, very similar problems in this so-called country, America. So to have like half of our people turn on us like this verbally is just really, it's a real struggle for us, because if we can't turn to our black women for support in trying to get out of this bullshit, then who the fuck are we going to turn to? Who can we turn to when dealing with all of this crazy shit going on in our government, all of these crazy fucking laws being changed, motherfucking cops out here killing us in the streets and shit? Where is our family? Where is our familial base? Where are our roots? Where do we go for support? Where do we go to rise up and to strive and to thrive if we can't rely on each other as a people, Noob? That's the struggle here. And that's the tough part, because these types of inflammatory statements become counterproductive to the movement that we should all be working on right now.
Right, and we are not dismissing or putting to aside the black women who feel the same way JB does. There are a number of black women who are like, who can we go to? Who's going to support us? Who's going to ride with us? Who's not going to call us bitches and hoes? Who do we have? I hear you, sisters. I've been talking to you all week. I've been talking to you for years. I hear you. I know you feel the same way JB does. But you don't fix that by going, well, since they call us bitches, we're going to say that they're the white man of the race. And you don't fix it that way. That's not how you fix it. And I'm not going to give you counsel on how to fix it.
Right.
But like Dave Chappelle told you, ladies, I told you this wasn't how it wasn't going to work this way. You're not going to get your goal. And I said the same shit years ago on this platform when we had 2 female co-hosts. And I say it again today. Hating us is not going to resolve the issue that some men have with hating you. Hating us back isn't going to fix that. And hating the ones that love you back isn't going to fix that.
Yeah.
If, for example, because it's only me and you here, if JB hates you and I love you, and then you hate me, hate both of us, you're just losing an ally, and he already hates you, so you're not gaining anything. And that's why we say we're leading with love. And so we do love you, and we are listening. And I've made several posts, I hope, showing that I'm listening. But I know even in those posts, when I try to reach out to you guys on social media, you're still kind of like, whatever, you hate black women. And I'm like, I don't. I have amazing black women in my life. Yeah. Like, I have amazing black women in my life. You know what I mean? So it's not a hate thing. Having said that, I want to move on yet again. So we kind of gotten through the Gayle thing. She was wrong. She shouldn't have done it that way. Snoop was wrong. He shouldn't have done it that way. Social media, everybody's wrong. We shouldn't be doing it that way. And I want to conclude this segment with prayers for Vanessa Bryant and those children, because they're the real victims. I'm not a victim of this. Black women, you're not a victim of this. Gayle King, you're not a victim of this. Oprah, you're not a victim of this. The victims are the families of those 9 people that lost their lives. More specifically, the families of the Bryant family, the NBA family. Rest in peace to Kobe. Rest in peace to Gigi. They will be laid to rest on February 24th. So it'll be 02 for Gigi's number, 24 for Kobe's number, and 20 for the 20 years he played in the NBA.
Hey.
So let's celebrate Kobe.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. The number 2 greatest shooting guard of all time, arguably the most skilled basketball player of all time, 18-time All-Star. Don't get me messing up the numbers. 2 times Finals MVP, 5-time NBA champion. I think 17-time All-Defensive. The Black Mamba and Gigi Mambacita. The biggest regret I have, well, not regret, but the thing that really hits me the most is I'll never see her play in the WNBA.
Yeah, I mean,
Kobe got to live, a portion of his life.
Right.
She did not.
Yeah, and that is arguably the biggest tragedy here, dude, is just the loss of such a bright, beautiful young lady, and I mean, she just has so much potential, you know. To hear Lisa Leslie talk about Kobe talk about his daughter, he you know, proud poppy. He's like, she got it, like for real, like just all of that excitement. I mean, it's just such an incredibly tragic loss, and we do have to celebrate his life, as you said.
And Aisha, one of our beautiful Patreons, said, you know, we no longer have it because people's heads are so far up their asses, they can't take a step back in order to truly come together. And that's kind of what we're trying to do here today, is take a step back. Take a step back. We have been doing shows like this. We covered the Me Too movement and rape culture in America long before it was the in thing to do.
Absolutely.
We were doing this 2-3 years ago. The ladies that were on the show with us, they've been gone for years. So we were doing this years ago. And it wasn't their suggestion, it was my suggestion. Because of things that I was reading in the media and me trying to get a better understanding. And we'll continue to do our part. Yeah. This isn't like normally we have women on the show to make sure we give that female point of view. And if not, we rely on our live audience to chime in and help us deliver that. But this isn't a show where you're just getting the man perspective and unga bunga. Like we love y'all. We love y'all.
Always have.
We love y'all.
Always.
We ain't on that bullshit.
Real talk.
And we just want you to understand that every black man isn't on that shit.
Yeah, I mean, if I can, I mean, just to give you an idea of who you're talking to right now.
Hold on. Mel said she's been gone 1 year and 3 months. Thank you very much.
Excuse the fuck out of us.
Well, when we were all together, it all left. But we hear you, Mel. And I'm glad you're watching because you can actually substantiate what we're saying.
Absolutely.
And after JB gives his point, we're going into a topic you brought up, Mel. Yeah. Something you brought up that I did some research on. And I think you'll be proud of your big brother. So we'll get to that. But JB?
Well, I mean, you know, understanding the importance of women and particularly the importance of black women in my life and my own personal development is something that's been around for me for decades. New again at Harvard, I was a part of the Black Men's Forum. We were a young group of men who created a event called the Celebration of Black Women at Harvard University. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, this was an event that focused on celebrating the influence and the power and the importance of black women in our culture. I mean, we had Gwendolyn Brooks and other famous people come and speak to Harvard University's campus. And at this point, the celebration of black women is still going on. It's been going on for over 20 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Excellent job, JB. Black men on Harvard's campus. Not Howard. Harvard. Celebrating black women. That's gangster. I respect it. I ain't got nothing to say about it. But I do want to address something that was brought to my attention. I first saw it on Mel's Facebook page, and then I saw it circulating like everywhere. And I was like, wait a minute. Hold up. This ain't real. And the meme was when Latina women get angry, they're called spicy and sexy. When black women get angry, they're called ghetto and hood rat and bitter bitches. And I was like, whoa. And they said the black men were the biggest culprit of this. And I was like, ain't no black man sitting around going, yo, you know when the Puerto Rican girl get mad, that shit sexy. But when the black girl do it, she a bitch. I was like, nobody's saying that. And I was further educated by my beautiful sisters and saying that they're not saying that people are literally having that convo, like, you know what I think about Puerto Ricans?
Like the side-by-side comparison.
Yeah, because it's presented in a side-by-side comparison. I was like, what? But what they're saying is, by happenstance, if a Latina woman gets angry, people just say it's spicy, fiery, feisty, sexy. But if a black woman does it, by happenstance, it's ghetto, it's hood, she a bitter bitch, all this shit. I want to go on record right now saying, I hear you, and now I understand. I can't agree with you because I haven't witnessed it, but I believe you, and I'm not questioning it anymore. I hear you. You said it's true. That's all I needed to hear. Now I get it. It happens. It's stupid that it happens. It's disrespectful that it happens. It's fucked up that it happens. But it's obviously happening with fucking idiots. And I don't mean just like they could be, they could have been in school with JB at Harvard. They're still a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Or they could have been just some regular hood nigga. Still a fucking idiot. But they could be a philosopher. Still a fucking idiot if you're basing how you judge anger on race. That's just stupid. I will say this. I love a little temper. I love fiery. I love feisty. And 98% of the women I dated is black. So I love it in black women. I don't do a lot of outside the race dating. So I don't, I've had maybe a couple Spanish girls, and they ain't no sprinkles. But I haven't noticed like a difference in their temperament, like, a Latin woman, a black woman. That just doesn't exist for me, but I know it exists for you, and I know it exists for, I guess, other men. But in my world, I like a woman with a little spice. I'm an aggressive nigga. I talk loud, I got a deep voice, it's aggressive sounding, I'm an aggressive ass nigga, I'm passionate, I'm loud. Y'all see me on the podcast, so I can't have a timid woman. I can't have a woman that goes, okay, baby, yes. I need a woman that's gonna be like, no, what the. I like that shit. And if she makes a good point, and it's intelligent, and she win, or, it doesn't have to win. But look at Siri, pussy getting wet. Siri just started opening up like, I'm feisty.
You're absolutely right.
Just to end it before I pass it to you,
Yeah.
I admire that attribute in women. I don't want nobody that's angry all the time, and I don't want nobody that's bitter. But I love a little spice. I require a little spice. Just to say that. So sisters, niggas are saying that shit, they stupid as fuck. I know you gotta deal with it. I'm sorry you gotta deal with it. I wish you didn't have to deal with it. But I'm polyamorous. I'm ambiamorous. You can all just be with me. And then you ain't gotta worry about it. I'm gonna like it. So JB.
Let me start by saying, honestly, that was something that I never really thought about. I gotta be real. And I'm not gonna belittle that comment by saying it's something that never really occurred to me, or something that I've never really seen happen. If you say that it's happening, then it happened, and that's enough for me. And I'm sorry for that. I'm sorry for how that would make you feel to hear, to hear that, or to have to deal with that. That's fucked up. The only thing I can promise you is that now that I'm aware of it, I'm going to be more aware of it. And if I hear it, I'm going to address it directly. If I hear she going back to the ghetto, whoa, what does that mean? Like, what are we talking about right now? That's the thing that I can do related to this issue, is I can make my own commitment to be more aware of those situations and address them directly if I encounter them, right? Because if you say it happens, then it happened,
Yeah, I want to go over just a couple comments. Berger said, Gigi was very, very good at basketball. Absolutely. Let's see. Mel said, thank you. You're welcome, Mel. I listen. I told you I listen. My ears are small, but I be hearing shit. I'm getting a kiss from a nice to see me. Party time. All right. So I wanted to make sure we called the episode Trigger Warning because we knew that some men would hear this and like, what? Y'all niggas, y'all trying to say? And we knew some women would hear it like, what? And we wanted to make sure that y'all heard what we were saying and that you came in with the level mind and no, prejudgments so that you could hear it. And if we got it wrong, you could correct us. But that you came in with love, and we said we lead with love.
Absolutely.
So that you could, and I even wore my dashiki. I was like, they're not going to be able to look at me as a nigga. I'm going to stand up here as an African black man from the Fulani tribe. Shout out to my family, Fulani. Trace it back. The Fulani tribe, most predominantly in Nigeria. We'll get into that in another episode. I just wanted to make sure that we addressed it because I was getting very angry on Facebook and I realized I was being part of the problem. So I had to take a step back and really look at everything.
Yeah.
And try to get us. It was like, do you want to be right new or do you want to fix it? And I had to go, okay, fuck being right. Let's try to fix it.
Absolutely, and that's the goal, and that's what we want to do is fix these situations, fix our relationships with each other so that we can move forward. Because for us as a people, it's about a central movement. And I'm all for empowering women. I think that they deserve and should achieve as much power and respect and influence and everything as they can. I'm not even going to say it should be equal, because if you're better than a man, then you should do better than a man. You should get more than a man. You know what I'm saying? So, providing that support is what I'm all about and what we're all about.
Factory. Naisha said, hey, JB.
Hey!
Berger said, a lot of black men suffer from PTSD from birth, never getting treatment. Factory, I know I suffer from it. I'll say JB suffers from it. I'll let him speak for himself. But yes, we do. Yes, we do. Now, we're going to move on to some good stuff, y'all. We're going to have some fun for the rest of the show. But we had to make sure we addressed this because it was on my heart, JB heart, and we know it was on y'all heart. And we're not going to let it go without speaking on it and without trying to bring it to a good place. So, we all love each other, right? Virtual air hugs and mic hugs and shit.
Family.
I got all my sisters with me. I was trying to make it sisters and brothers.
Yeah.
We got all the southers. We got our southers with us.
We got all. I got all my family with me.
Yeah, there you go. So, our what the fuck story of the week. And this is a good one. Our sister, Erykah Badu, that legendary Badu box, is coming to an apartment near you, goddammit. So her new online store, Badu World, is going to sell incense that replicate the actual smell of her vagina.
And she's not kidding, y'all. She's not playing. Like, she did the work.
She was wearing underwear,
right.
Used underwear that she had to make sure it got that exact moment. Now, we've been making jokes on this podcast about Badu Box for but it was a radio show, for 8 years.
Yeah.
We've been around 8 years going on 9.
Yeah.
How about that? For you newcomers that want to use the name Kickback in your podcast title and want to fight our shit.
Can we talk about that, dude?
Yeah, really quick before we get into Erykah Badu's box, and you want to put vinyl records on your wall to make it look like us, and you want to throw Kickback in your title.
Come on, people. Come on now. Now, we've been in this game for decades. I mean, you was a rapper, I was a singer. Both of us were songwriters, composers, producers.
Actors.
We know what it is to be in this entertainment business. And we have worked our entire careers not to bite anybody's shit. Forgive the 80s term, but it is what it is. Not to dick ride anybody. Like, we do the research. Before we name an entity or an endeavor or a venture, we do the research so that the name that we pick is our own and nobody else's. I've done it several times where I came up with a name, was like, oh shit, no. Somebody owned a production company called Black Rose Productions back in 1982, so we can't use that name. My band did that back in the 90s, and we named ourselves Soulfedge when we wanted to name ourselves something else because somebody else had the name. Fuck it.
I was going to change my name to Kobe Bryant, but he had it already, so I had to go with Now to Renew Mine. It just was what it was. And Mel, I created Badu Box. I'm talking about I should have trademarked Badu Box. Nigga, I made it up. See, that's what I'm talking about. It's always the black women trying to steal from you. I'm playing. They're gonna kill me, JB. Like, no, we gonna get you. You just as bad as Snoop. Like, I'm playing.
Expressed by Neither Mayor. Solely expressed by Neither Mayor. Do not represent the views of a pod named Kickback or any of his affiliates.
Oh shit. The
Trying to give this
sniff.
trouble.
You know what though? You know what's crazy? That Badu Box, I'm definitely gonna get those incense because I want it. But I'm thinking about the women that want to smell it. And they come over like, ooh, what's that smell like? That's Badu Box. Go ahead and take your panties off. What I'm saying, she made it up. Mel, Mel, I did not get Badu box from you.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
I don't even know you referring to women's vaginas as boxes.
I-
You call vagina box?
You were, and I can stamp the like. You were using the term Badu box before we even
Met Mel.
Yeah, like we were even hanging with Mel in Atlanta. So I don't even know.
Box is a well, Mel is from DC, but box is a DC term.
Yep.
He was calling that shit Badu box before I got you in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Just because of how niggas was acting. I see it common in the lime green fishnet wife beater. You know what? I don't want a woman to put me in a lime green fishnet wife beater.
Her pussy that good?
I want it.
If you throw it up in the air, it'll turn into sunshine.
Mel screaming at us. You did! Stop screaming at me, Mel.
Yeah, uh-oh.
Evil.
You done made Mel angry. Uh-oh.
It's JB fault. It's Snoop fault.
That's a
It's Snoop and Gail did it, man. It wasn't me.
Now that is a really neat product, though.
It was kale and okra.
Kelvin Okra. What? What?
Somebody
What
called
the fuck is he
Gail and
talking
okra. Kale and okra.
Yeah. What?
Shout out to Kale and okra.
Oh Lord. Kelvin.
Hold up, Naisha said it's definitely not a DC term. Y'all call pussy box when you from Naisha? Box is a, do y'all call pussy cock? That's a DC term. Everybody trying to steal our slang. I don't like this. I don't like this. I don't like it. Naisha like where Bush Gardens at some damn well. I don't like that shit. But anyway, so we will all be going online and get her pussy scented incense, right?
Yeah, that sounds interesting. I definitely want to try.
We should definitely check that out. Our Donald Trump Shut Up Stupid Award. I was going to give it to Mel and Naisha, but I'm going to be nice and not do that. So we're going to give the Donald Trump Shut Up Stupid Award to JB's...
You couldn't even come up with something.
Junior Usher and Junior...
What?
Junior
Wow!
Usher Rest.
You bringing Mount Ephraim into this?
Yeah,
really?
yeah.
Really?
You know you said Mount Ephraim with Meek Mill and Nicki Minaj? And they get the Shut Up Stupid Award.
Oh my God.
Because they were on Twitter and Twitter fingers, trigger fingers turned to Twitter fingers. Just like Mel got Facebook fingers. And Naisha they all them got Facebook fingers.
Children.
This shit was stupid.
Children. Acting like children.
Apparently, Meek has been making jokes about how Nicki Minaj's husband dresses. And somebody put up a picture of the Jimmy Jazz mannequin and her husband, and they had a similar outfit on. And Meek liked it. They were saying he couldn't dress, basically. And Nicki got mad and went off. Talking about Meek was this and that, and he was a bitch, and he was a sucker, and he was scared in the store, and he couldn't dress, and he had a bad body, and all this shit. And Meek was like, only thing you could do is try to assassinate my character. And she said Meek beat women. And he was like, all you can do is say I beat women. That's the only thing you can do to win. Everybody knows you're evil. The whole industry knows you're evil. And the whole industry don't fuck with you no more. And your bag is getting light. And that's why you lashing out. And they went back and forth and back and forth.
And then it started getting really personal. Like,
Yeah.
Really personal. Bringing up.
Yeah, and then Nicki was like, and that's why he was a junior usher with JB and Mount Ephraim. And I was like, oh, God.
It got worse than
Wow.
that. It got worse than that.
It just got ugly.
Yeah, and it's like children. Like, y'all, you sound like little kids right now. Like, what the fuck are y'all doing? One thing that you brought up off the air when we were talking about this topic in prep, though, New, was that both of them had singles drop recently.
Yeah, and they both had singles on Friday after all of that
So
drama.
maybe all of this dumb bullshit was just
Promo?
Yeah.
Are they still working together?
I don't know that they were.
Are they in a polycule?
I don't know.
Meek Girl is pregnant and Nicki married. Are they in a polycule together?
I don't know about all of that. But you know how when two prize fighters just start talking shit about each other to promo the fight, and I don't think this shit like tomorrow I'm gonna call you a punk and then you gonna get him. You know, I don't think they like rehearse the shit.
Yeah.
I think this shit kind of just happens. I think
And they ran with it.
Yeah, I think this shit just kind of just happened, and they both ran with it, both for deeply personal and selfish reasons, and which is why it looks the way it does.
Another thing, ladies have been saying Meek is going off on Nicki. He's so in love with her, just like Future is with Sierra. Future don't give a fuck about Sierra. Cut your delusions of grandeur out.
Yeah.
And Meek don't give a fuck about Nicki. Cut your delusions of grandeur out.
Doesn't.
Everybody don't want women back just because your man don't want you back. You trying to live vicariously through a celebrity. Let's end that narrative. Let's end it.
Please.
If anybody wants somebody back, Nicki wants Meek back. She the one that made the whole huge deal and went off on him on
She
Twitter.
really did go crazy.
So let's cut that out.
Right. Over a silly
And for those who can't tell, this is JB talking. This is my voice. I'm JB. I'm the gangster geek. Can you hear me? New didn't say this.
I think they can tell the difference between our voices.
Damn it!
I don't think that was gonna work. I don't think that was gonna work. We known each other for 30 years, and our voices sound completely different. Completely different.
Completely different. Completely.
See.
There you go.
Deoxyribonucleic acid.
What?
Deoxyribonucleic.
Yeah,
Exactly.
deoxyribonucleic.
He was like, say it again so I can get it right. Deoxyribonucleic.
Well, now you shit from Jersey. I nigga, damn.
Hey.
Damn, dirty Jersey? I hear you.
Hey. What part of Jersey?
The first you bought from the white part.
So?
I'm saying, she ain't put no, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to jump out there. But Meek and Nicki, you get the Donald Trump set of Super Bowl. Shut up, man.
Absolutely.
Leave that shit alone.
Please.
Mm-hmm. We got to get a little bit into the Trump acquittal, JB. I'm going to let you gangster geek out on this.
Yeah. He was acquitted by majority vote. To make a long story short, the vote wound up being, I believe, 52 to 49, somewhere around there. The standout.
So it's closer than I thought.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, basically, all of the Democrats voted to convict, and all of the Republicans, except for one, voted to acquit.
How did they vote in Atlantic City? That's where I know shit from. We didn't know how they voted, so we know what to think about her. How did they vote in Atlantic City?
Well, Chris Christie is a senator from New Jersey. He is also a Republican, so I'm assuming that he voted for Trump.
So now, Issa, you voted for Trump. It all makes sense.
Lord.
Now I get it.
Lord.
And you a Libra.
You sounding like them. Sounding like one of them right now, lumping her into that bullshit. But anyway, guys, the standout was Mitt Romney. Mitt Romney is senator from Utah, former governor of Massachusetts. He is the one Republican who actually voted to remove Trump from office. He's the only one Republican who voted guilty. And one of the things that you hear in all of the news coverage and everything when they interview these guys is they say, oh, well, being impeached is a horrible thing for a president. He knows never to do it again. He knows better than that. And it's like, no, dumbass. Y'all just let him get away with trying to coerce a foreign government to investigate his political opponent. And y'all think that just because the Democrats indicted him, he's gonna know better now? He just got away scot-free with it.
Right.
Like, this shit is just so backwards and stupid, man.
So, JB, you said something very interesting. You said that Mitt Romney was the governor of Boston. He was a congressman. He was a senator in Boston.
No, he was a senator. He is currently the senator in Utah.
But he started as...
He was the governor of Massachusetts.
Governor of Massachusetts.
Mm-hmm.
How the hell did he swing that?
Oh, they move around all over the place. I mean, think about the Clintons. The Clintons were Hillary Rodham Clinton was originally from New York. They went to Arkansas because that's where Bill Clinton was from.
Right, but she didn't do anything politically in New York.
Well, I mean, she was the first lady of Arkansas. I'm saying that these guys move around all over the place.
So that's not weird.
Yeah, no, not at all.
Okay.
Not at all.
Okay.
I mean, especially considering the fact that Mitt Romney is actually from Utah. The weird part was how he wound up in Massachusetts, but that's because he was working for one of the big capital firms in Massachusetts. He had a financial connection.
Can Trump be impeached again?
Yes.
If something else happens.
Yes, absolutely. You can impeach him as many times as you want to. The problem is that it's not going to do any goddamn good with the Republican Senate. It just is what it is.
That means everybody needs to go vote?
Really. Real talk.
In your local elections for senator? and congressmen. And I mean, we've done a good job of alerting you guys when the elections are. Just follow it up. To, take action. Do something.
Yeah, the local elections are key, and we've said this many times before, but the local elections are where these Republican assholes are really trying to push through a lot of this stupid ass bullshit. That's where the abortion laws factor in, that's where the criminal laws factor in, all of these little things that affect our daily lives in a very, very significant way. So really, really be mindful of what's going on.
Absolutely. We're going to move on to our Nipsey Hussle Award.
Let's do it, man.
We're giving the Nipsey Hussle Award to Yo Gotti.
Yo Gotti. Yeah, man.
In CMG Music, he just got out of his contract with his new album, which is cranking.
Yes.
Cranking. His album was a damn playlist. Me and JB was talking about it last week.
Right.
Got some smooth shit. Got some twerk shit for the ladies. He got some turn up shit. He got some thought provoking, mature content on there.
It's a complete work.
And with him, his artist, Moneybagg Yo, Black Youngster, Black Boy JB, not this JB, but Black Boy JB, and Migo, not the Migos, but Migo, singular. They're all doing very well, and he just recently purchased his masters. He talked about talking to Jay-Z. He's on Rock Nation. Yeah, definitely give it up for that round of applause.
Yeah.
He asked Jay-Z, they were trying to offer him a lot of money to keep the masters going forward because it's out of his deal. And he asked JB, should he take that check or should he spend the check and buy his masters back? And Jay-Z was like, you're Yo Gotti, right? If you got the money, go fucking buy it.
Absolutely.
Own your shit.
Absolutely.
And he went and purchased it, so he owns his masters 100%. Not many people do. Jay-Z does. 2 Chainz does, Yo Gotti does, a handful of others, and it's great to see him boss up like that. And it's great to see his music, the message in his music is slightly changing. He still want to get you to turn up music, still want to get you the good shit doesn't get you hype, but he's giving game. He had a song called Big Homie Rules, which is the rules you're supposed to be giving your little homies, and he's basically telling dudes how to get out of the street game and go legit. And this is like, man.
Yeah, you gotta love it, and you gotta love him buying his own masters, man. That's just gonna be the gift that keeps on giving.
Yep.
However many millions, and being that he's Yo Gotti, it wasn't a small deal that they offered him. They probably offered him north of $10 million for his masters, easy. But then you look at that body of work, and you look at what we call residual income, and that's what your masters become for you, right?
And ladies, that's like multiple orgasms.
Right.
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Because he can redistribute that any way he wants to. He can handle his own licensing in terms of commercial media, movies. All of that money is his forever. You know what I'm saying? It's like owning your own masters is like owning land. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It doesn't go away ever.
You
forever.
pass it down to your kids
and your grandkids,
great grandkids, and your side chick. You can just pass that shit along. So shout out to Yo Gotti. You win our Nipsey Hussle Award for the week.
Yeah.
Our Netflix and chill pick. I'll start with Cheaters. Peter Guns from Love and Hip Hop fame, who's been known to cheat. I think the band was really in a throuple, but for TV they made him cheating and getting 2 women pregnant at the same time. He's going to be the host of the new Cheaters. And that means it's going to have a hip hop swing to it. It's going to have some niggas involved. Yeah, I might watch it. Cheaters is always a funny show.
Yeah.
But with him on it, I'm like, yo,
you gotta love
this shit gonna be funny.
And he's tweeting and going crazy, promoing the new roles, saying, what better person to have hosted Cheaters than Peter Guns? He said that straight up on Twitter. I love that shit. I love it, man. Shout out to him, man. Best of luck with the show. So the other one is there's a movie coming out, right?
Oh yeah, a romance movie, a black love story with Issa Rae and Lakeith Stanfield, and it's called The Photograph. I'll give you a little bit of the premise. Issa Rae's character's mother takes a picture. It's one of those pictures that goes viral. People decide to do a story on it. Decades later. and the reporter that's doing the story on it goes to interview Issa Rae, and that's Lakeith Stanfield, of course, interviewing Issa Rae, and they spark a relationship, spark a friendship, and it was out of nowhere, and it's just, where does it go?
Right.
I love stories. We done made jokes about me and rom-coms and love stories on this show for years. I do love it. I love stories because I've never been in love like that. And I think that shit is just the best thing ever. And I can't wait to get there. And so I love watching movies about it because I'm fascinated with I'm almost obsessed with, like, oh, he really like her. Oh, she love him. Oh, shit, they did this. Oh, this is crazy. And I'm always just enamored with it because it's beautiful, nigga. Like, and it's something that's eluded me. So I look at those movies and I kind of like live vicariously through them. That's why I like them so much. So I'm definitely looking forward to it. It drops on Valentine's Day. I'm gonna be at Polytown or some shit, but I'll see it in the next sometime in February, I guess.
Yeah, definitely want to check that one out. I mean, love stories are great. Black love stories are even better though. So looking forward to that one for sure. For sure.
Yeah, man. And let me see. So we got music. I just want to say really quick for music before we get out of here. We have a Pod Name Kickback playlist.
Yes.
It's on Spotify and it's on Apple Music.
Testify.
You can go and grab it. Our Pod Name Kickback weekly, because we update it every Friday when new music comes out. So that's all the new R&B, all the new rap with a couple, older songs and every now and then a throwback. The best hip hop and R&B, and in world beat, what they call it nowadays. They used to call it world beat. They used to call it dance hall. Bad Bunny and all them. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about? So we include all of that in it. And the playlist is great. Y'all love the fuck out of my Chocolate Stroke playlist. You'll love this one too. Chocolate Stroke playlist got like 100 followers. Our Pod Name Kickback playlist got like 10. Something needs to change. You fucking freaks.
I don't know that anything needs to change. I mean, it sounds like you guys are enjoying yourselves. So that's a good thing. But
right. Here's some of your kids after me. Name them new.
Yeah, but that daytime music, that drive time music, daytime, drive time. I mean, just turn us on. Check us out, man. A Pod Name Kickback everywhere. We are great audio. The podcast, the playlist, all of that shit, man. Tune in and turn it out with us.
That's right. Subscribe to the Vibe. And so we have a Patreon account.
Yes.
Where if you want to support, podcasting is free. There's no money coming in. Unless we do live shows, which we're working on.
Yes.
But another way we get income is if you subscribe to the Vibe on Patreon.com. Patreon.com/A Pod Name Kickback. You can donate $2 a month, $4 a month, or $7 a month. And that will get you exclusive content depending on your tier. There's exclusive content on every single tier, but of course the $7 tier has more than
Absolutely.
the $2 tier.
Absolutely.
But you can subscribe to the Vibe, get extra episodes, extra interviews, extra every fucking thing. And you can support us, which I think is the main thing. A lot of people say, well, how do we support you, New? JB, how do we support you guys? We watch every week. But these lights that we have up, these microphones, the equipment you see JB fiddling with over there, these Pod Name Kickback cups, my clothes, JB t-shirts, all that shit costs money.
Yeah.
So if you want to support, subscribe to the Vibe on Patreon, patreon.com/Pod Name Kickback. We appreciate you for tuning in. Sisters, I hope you heard us. I hope you represented correctly. Brothers, I hope we did a good job in serving what our goal is. And sisters, I hope you heard it, received it, and appreciated it. And still fuck Gayle King though. And it's still rest in peace, Kobe and Gianna, and all of the families that were lost in that tragic helicopter crash. And at midnight, I'm watching Power, JB. I'm gonna find out who killed Ghost. I'm gonna tell you that now because when this comes out, you would have the episode would have already been out. My guess has been all season. Well, since he got shot.
Is this the finale?
This is the finale.
Hey.
My guess has been that Tasha and Tariq were working together because Vincent told Tommy, how do you think I found you? Your godson Tariq. So Tariq set Tommy up, and I know Tasha has been mentoring him, and I assume that they set up Ghost as well. What I think happens is that Tasha freaks out like, shit, I can't let Tariq do this, and goes down there to stop him, but it's too late. And when Tommy looks up with the gun, he sees Tariq and Tasha. He's like, what the fuck? And then he doesn't shoot because Ghost says don't. That's my theory. If I'm wrong as fuck, you will be able to watch this episode and go, you were wrong as fuck. If I'm right, give me my goddamn credit, because it is Saturday at 7:53 p.m. and I haven't watched it yet. So we're going to see what happens. Happy Monday. It is a brand new start of a week. I want you guys to get out there, go hard this week, get that money. It is the second week of February. It is the second month of the new year. It is the second month of the new decade. No bullshitting. No being lazy. Handle your goddamn business. Do what you gotta do. And I'm talking to you like I'm talking to me. I had my mentor tell me last Friday that he was impressed by my work, and he didn't know that I would be this thorough and this good.
Hey.
I want you guys to hear that same thing from whoever your mentor is, whoever your boss is, whoever your big homie is. I want y'all to hear that too. I'm not gonna rest on my laurels. I'm gonna fuck them up next week by doing an even better job. And I'll have my own agency this summer, and I want you guys to have whatever your heart desires by the summer. Fucking as well, goddammit.
Goddamn right. Good night and God bless you.
On the agency says, spoiler, she killed Ghost.
I love it. I love it.
And Meryl said we had a good show. And we gonna get y'all these mugs. And we don't have the girl that made the mugs.
We'll work it out.
We'll work it out. We'll figure it out. But thank you guys for tuning in. We love you. Sisters, we got you. Brothers, we got you. Kobe, Gianna, rest in peace. Rest in peace to all the families that were on the helicopter. And shout out to our people, the strongest people on the motherfucking earth.
Goddamn right.
Uno, we out. Let me do my Joe JB. Mamba out. Mic drop.